Kaboom.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the AIB Show. Dominic and I we're trying some new sound techniques, so hopefully the sound is coming through a lot better than it has in previous weeks. More likely than not, if it's not on Dominic's side, it's because he's a moron, but I will do my best to be better. What's going on, Dominic? Talk to us.
Wow. Happy Thursday.
I was like, happy? I was like, what's going on? I miss it.
What we got?
Away. We got a bunch of things actually, but
all right, let's start off with I just found this.
Okay.
Literally a minute ago before it came on live was the death of Colin Powell.
You didn't just find out about the death of Colin Powell.
No, let me finish.
You knew about that part.
Let me finish, guy. And Donald Trump's statement,
which is amazing. For those of you who don't know, I mean, we're both questioning its legitimacy, its validity as being like an internet hoax. But
yeah, I had to research this. I had to find it from various sources. I couldn't believe it. So he came out with a statement that said the following. Wonderful to see Colin Powell, who made big mistakes on Iraq and famously so-called weapons of mass destruction, be treated in death so beautifully by the fake news media. Hope that happens to me someday. He was a classic Republican in name only, if even that, always being the first to attack other Republicans. He made plenty of mistakes. But anyway, may he rest in peace. What the freak?
I mean, like, why say anything at all? Like, legitimately, like, why are you even saying anything? What are you hoping to gain? Like, there's no value in giving that speech beyond proving that you are a moron.
I mean,
I don't understand.
I think he's done 1,000 other things to prove he's a moron. I wouldn't say that proves he's a moron. He's just a
doubling down on
uncouth jackass. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I mean, wow. You know, and don't get me wrong. I'm not like it's irrelevant to me at this juncture. It's just so crude. Like, if ever you're justifying anything about this dude, I would say listen to or read anything that he said about anybody who wasn't literally in his pocket / corner. Actually, not literally in his pocket / corner. And you get to see what the dude's really about. And if you feel that, hey, he's a good, noble person, you're lying to yourself. Because just that statement alone is proof point that dude is just a horrible person. Forget anything else. Just a horrible person. I don't know why I got high pitched.
Random fact. Yeah. My dad went to elementary school and middle school with Colin Powell.
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, Colin Powell he's Jamaican as well. Yeah. So
yeah, but this was in the Bronx.
My dad. Valid, but I'm saying that he beat Kamala to the Jamaica in the White House situation, but not in the White House. But yeah. No, so that was yesterday's news, and I was really caught off guard by what Donald Trump
evidently
said.
It's actually true.
That statement is legitimate.
Yeah,
seems legit. It seems very Trumpian. What else you got on the Trumpster?
You tell me.
I mean, the dude. I'm not gonna. Actually, I won't give him any more time. We're gonna move on. But not similar notes. I touched on. So for those of you who don't know, Amit's new to this TikTok world and very horrible at it as well, by the way. But I posted a TikTok a week or so whenever the Chappelle thing came out. I know we talked about it a little bit here, in regards to my review of his stand-up special Closer, which I thought was not really a comedy special at all and was pretty blah or meh, I think was the term I used. And I got some less than positive reviews from individuals I don't know on TikTok, which was new and interesting, and had a little back and forth with a few of them. Because the initial response was, I don't get it because I'm not black, even though I had nothing to do with that at all. I just thought the dude was not funny, plain and simple. And I used to find him funny. So I got black humor before, but I don't get black humor now, I guess is what the tone is.
Well, I think you're making an assumption, though.
No. It was literally that. If you don't get it, was doubling down on a lot.
You don't get it, but you don't have to be black to get it. You don't get it in general because your mentality is different. That's what they're accusing you of.
No, if you read some of the comments, they didn't come out and say it, but exactly. It was, I mean, bruh.
Because there's many, as people say, there's many white people who could get it if you're supposed to get it, in their opinion. So, but you're not. Did you read the comments? Not because you're black. You're not getting the black. You see the distinction there?
Yeah, I inferred it as the former. Well, to your point, I could be wrong. That was the way I read it.
I read it as you're not understanding the black humor and the black points. That's it. Not because you're not black. You're simply, and you can't argue that.
Apologies. Okay, so I'm
they're
not getting
accusing
the
you
black humor and black points, not
yes.
because I'm not black, I'm not getting, but I'm not
Right.
getting the black humor. But my
Yes.
point is, I got all the black humor before.
Well, maybe you're not changing with
I mean, what does that mean? I mean,
I still have to watch
date,
it to see if it's actually funny.
It's not funny at all. Like, legit, I think I smiled twice. It's not funny. It's a big, this is who I am. And, you know, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the dude, when he wants to be funny, is funny. This is not, which is why I hold him to a different standard. And also, he goes out and he's done it before. You know, his confidence level / arrogance level, I don't know which one is the right word to use, where he'll literally call himself the GOAT, and he does so in the comedy special. He's done it in the past as well, you know, where he's very, very confident in his skill set, which is fine. But in essence, it goes off into a preaching mantra about him versus back in the day, he would tell jokes, like funny stories and things like that, and things of that nature that I found awesome, right? And again, to your point, maybe I've grown out of it. You know, maybe I just literally don't get it, but it was interesting to get that feedback from people I don't know, and not negative, by the way. I just said interesting. It was just interesting to get the feedback. But also, what was something else that came from that is, so there's a big back and forth with Netflix, with Netflix. So there were some Netflix employees who were threatening a walkout, and I'm saying were because I don't think it ever happened, or maybe it hasn't happened yet.
I believe yesterday they actually had a
Oh, they did.
had one yesterday.
So apologies. I was looking for the news and I didn't see it on there. So that means one of two things. Was it really small that it didn't get the pub it should have gotten, or did I just totally overlook it? Because I'm searching for it.
I saw it randomly on Instagram, so I think it was small.
Okay. So it was people who were not people who were supportive of the transgender community and gay community, who wanted to come out and, in essence, go against Netflix, or go against Netflix's position that this is, for lack of a better phrase, hate speech. And Netflix has a policy that such speech that is hate speech, etc., and things that promote violence and things of that nature will not be broadcast or aired on Netflix. However, this doesn't constitute those things. And by the way, I don't think this is hate speech or whatever. I don't. So I'm in support of that situation. I don't think it should be pulled down or anything like that at all. I just didn't find it funny. That's literally all my gripe is. I just didn't find it funny at all. But they're doubling down the Netflix bandwagon or train. One, because they kind of have to, right? They do, because if they keep it up there, the dollars are there. Purely in a financial sense, there's no value in pulling it down. There is zero. To your point, you haven't seen it, and you may see it because of everything that you're getting. There's no value in pulling it down.
No, I'd watch it in general. But
that's what I'm saying. There's no value in pulling it down. For people who don't know, they may go and check it out now as well. So I don't see the value.
But
and it's like you gain any social
for
points.
Netflix, these $50 million, $25 million specials, they actually make sense?
So Netflix's model is very confusing to me, because the amount of money they
you're
spend
paying
on the
him for a
garbage.
special. What is it? $25 million for one special?
Mm-hmm.
How are you recouping that?
The hope is you'd garner additional, obviously, it's just additional subscribers, and from wherever, who would come to follow Chappelle and listen to Chappelle and want to be a part of the Chappelle world. That's why you're paying this particular talent. Much like they do all their films. The goal is you're going to come watch the film. And if you're going to watch the film, and if you went to a theater and you spent $15 at the theater for one movie, now you spend $15 a month for all the stuff. So that's the goal. That's the model. It's HBO's old model. It's every cable network's model.
Yeah, but you'd have to, assuming there's no attrition and loss of subscribers, you'd have to get over 100,000 new subscribers just for a year to get the ROI. You think there's 100,000 more people signing up for Netflix and staying for a year?
The globe. What? Now, again, with that said, I don't understand their model. Which is why things like Squid Game and stuff like that are a thing, because that's the only way to get new viewers in other territories, right? Because if they're not saturated, but they're pretty good in the US, right? You're not getting a significant increase, month over month, year over year. So the globe is the next frontier. India, China, places with huge populations where getting 100K in a year should be nothing, to be a drop in the bucket, right? And that's the dynamic there, which is why you have shows like Squid Game and stuff coming about. But like everybody else across the world, you want to capture you want to watch content from around. You want to see American content. I'm watching a bunch of French shows and Squid Game and Japanese shows. I even watching Indian shows, which I didn't like anyway. but you're watching these things to kind of get out there, and that's the dynamic there.
I used to watch a ton of Indian shows.
Yeah, but you were trying to be Indian for a long
Kitty
time.
Party.
Who?
Kitty Party. It was a
I
very
didn't know
good soap opera, or a serial as they call them.
that.
Another news: Superman is bisexual.
Explain that. Don't just make the statement. Explain it a little bit. Give some story, guy.
I guess in the newest comic.
Yeah.
That Superman is engaged in an amorous event with a man, and of course there's backlash. Evidently, Dean Cain, I see in your notes here, who played Superman on the ABC show maybe 20 years ago.
So again, Dominic just taking my notes, not doing any research for the show itself. Oh, thank you. That makes it all the better. So now I got nothing to talk about. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
He is not very happy. Can you expand upon that?
His thing was he feels that it's not woke, like meaning not it's not the right word. Paraphrasing. He gave an interview on Fox News, and what he in essence said was that this is not brave. And again, I'm paraphrasing. And simply put, if this had come out in the 60s, that would have been a brave move, showcasing that Superman is bisexual, and well done, good on them, and so on and so forth. However, doing the way they're doing it now, they're just placating to the masses. And mute your mic when you're drinking your water, my dude. We can hear all that stuff now. Yeah, the mic's better this time. So that's the dynamic. So his thing was, this isn't brave, this isn't cool, this isn't woke, this is just you placating to the masses, which may be true, by the way. And so that's his stance on it as a man who played Superman at one point. So I thought that was interesting. I kind of agree with him, because it was just, I mean, that's what it was. It was just, how do we garner favor? I feel.
Listen, we don't know. It could be placating, but it's not really placating to the masses, because that's the
I'm sorry. It's showing that you were a woke.
Yeah, but still, the masses. You're also upsetting.
Not the masses. You're right.
It could be just a more diverse, creative team, and feel like they need to create more of, just like how comics used to be more all white, and now we have other races to show what's going on. So it's not. It could be placating and a money. I don't see how though.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I probably used the wrong term. You're right.
So it could be simply just, hey, there's a percentage of the population that is gay. We represent none of that in this. So how real is our comic if we don't do that? I don't know.
Okay, but so that goes to this other comment that I've been topic of conversation that we may or may not have had here. So obviously with Bond coming up, right? And there've been a bunch of other shows.
Yeah, we talked about it last episode, bro.
With having females.
Yes.
Right? But that's in the same vein though, right? It's like the same thing.
No, but that's not, because Bond was written as a man. Bond was, it's not as if he was written just because he clearly Superman kissed girls.
I mean, he was not kissed girls. He was with Lois Lane. I think he even had offspring. So he's written as a heterosexual. That's why
they said bisexual, which is completely a normal thing that you wouldn't know about.
Okay.
You would know if Bond was a girl, because she would be a girl.
Shit. Yes.
Right?
It wouldn't be James. Well, she could be James.
Could be James. So I think that's the distinction.
All right. No, I mean, I see. It's one of these things where I feel that that's where Dean Cain was going. And again, I'm overanalyzing what he was saying, but simply, I believe that the thought process is that none of this stuff at this point is genuine. It's being done to show that you are a woke company, institution, etc. in his mind. And some of these things, I said that
you're also a very skeptical individual, but you could be right.
You agreed. Well, I don't get. Hold up, man. If you're trying to tell me you waited till now to do a lot of these things, much like Dean Cain, which is a weird thing for me to say, by the way. You
could have a new head writer. You could have.
No, that's what I'm saying. In that situation, I'm completely with you. In that situation, I do agree with you wholeheartedly. I also know that people are who they are. There are several things that can't change, but companies don't generally operate on the best interests of their customers, but they operate on bottom line and dollars and cents, because they have because they're beholden to shareholders. So it kind of denotes how they have to be and how they have to operate. And to your point, doing this may be a good thing now, may not have been. If you did this in the 60s, to Dean Cain's point, you wouldn't have got any love, and it would have killed your business. So you couldn't, even if you wanted to your point. right? So whether or not you were thinking this, you couldn't at the time. Maybe now you can. But I'm not. I don't give companies the benefit of the doubt, I guess, to your point, as it relates to this. So, but yeah, that's what was going on with Dean Cain. What else you got on me?
Hold on. That's my Roomba vacuum.
Do you do any work? I mean, you keep saying you're about that fitness and health situation. You won't even clean your own floors?
Speaking of, no, actually, you wanted to save that to Friday Freestyle. So on another note, we're debuting a new segment called Who Knows, which is also the title of our theme song. So every episode will present a random fact or two or three. So what you got this week, Puff, on the very first one? Oh, you don't have one? Oh, surprise. Okay, I'll go. Who knew this? If Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank were alive today, they'd be the same age as Barbara Walters. You know, we tend to think of these three as occupying very different periods of history, right? From the Holocaust to the Civil Rights era to 80s, 90s, 2000s television personality. They're all the same age, born the same year. Random info.
Yep, I did. I definitely did not know that. I did not. I also did not know that Paris Hilton gave a talk yesterday. She did a presser yesterday about tough love and going to boarding school in Utah and how it was supposed to help her and didn't. And a couple things here. I saw Paris Hilton and I clicked away immediately, but I saw the headline, which is what I copied. I didn't see it. I won't watch it. I don't really care, which I feel bad about to some level because I don't know if she actually had something that was vital and worth saying. But because of the person giving the information, I don't care. So I just put it out there. So those of you who are interested, but it's interesting to me on a sad note that there's certain individuals that I just don't care about whatever you have to say, good, bad, or otherwise, which is kind of garbage for me. And I understand that. And I would say it'd be better, but I'm not. There are some people I don't care about. And case in point, I actually made for no reason at all, by the way. Well, the reason was I just disliked her show in general and the whole concept of what she was about back in the day with her and Nicole Richie, that I wouldn't stay at Hilton Hotels. For no reason at all. It doesn't affect your bottom line at all. Completely stupid. I'm very aware of this. And I did it anyway. Oh, I know it's stupid, my dude. I'm fully aware. I just wouldn't stay at Hilton Hotels. That's my Marriott man. But this is part of the thought process, right? And again, I'm aware of the foolishness and just the lunacy of what I'm saying. But this is the way my mind works sometimes, and I'm putting it out there. So I don't know if she's got something hard to go through. I hope she actually no, I don't know.
She did not. Hopefully
I'm indifferent. If she did or didn't, I don't care. What do you got?
Speaking of lunacy, and if her hardship is strictly that she went away to boarding school, well, though I think that would be a lot harder for a girl than a guy. You know, you didn't go to boarding school, but you kind of did.
Oh, I lived. Hey,
I guess that's boarding.
I had hardships. Yeah, it's boarding school. You're not at home. You're boarding.
You're boarding. Yeah, and I did. So I think it'd be easier for. I actually think it in general, and this is just creating a stereotype. I think it's easier for boys. Just even though I actually think my daughter would like it better than my son. So I don't know, but
I mean, I just don't. Again, I don't care. It's the hard reality that now again maybe it's something larger and I have no idea about it and my mind could change. Currently, I could give a crap of whatever she went through, unless it was like legit abuse in that situation.
Grammar police couldn't give a crap. Couldn't.
What did I say? Could give a crap?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which means you would. Speaking of weird, random, who knew? There's a violent religious cult in Jamaica.
Well,
that's not always the same thing. That's not always the same. If that's where you're going.
No, I'm with you. I just feel that religious cult is they're kind of synonyms.
Oh, that's this. Okay, I thought you were going violent and religious.
I feel like religious and cults are kind of synonyms, but that's I'm gonna get crap from that, I'm sure. But yes, continue. Tell us the story, or how much you know. Anyway.
Actually, you know the story. I don't really know.
Again, this guy did more research. So here's what I garnered yesterday. There's a religious cult in Montego Bay, Jamaica, which where Dominic and I are from. The guy who was running said cult.
I didn't know it was Mobe.
Oh yeah, it was Mobay. Not only that, it was right next to City Center. That's where their church was. You know, there's the CIBC Bank right in City Center, and right next to that,
Yeah.
there was a place that's where it was. Remember, Bijou used to have a shop there, I believe.
Oh
Not, I
yeah.
believe, I know. That's
Oh yeah,
where it
yeah.
was. Yeah. So apparently, that was the
On
church,
the other side of where
right at CIBC.
Dominion
Like,
Stationery.
yeah. Going
yeah.
towards City Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
All this means nothing to any of you people who aren't from Mobay. I get it. But anyway, so there's religious cult. This guy apparently came from Nigeria. By all them, the story, stuff I'm telling you right now is my mom told me last night. None of this has been validated or fact checked. Just so you know, take that as it comes. We have a friend Gopal who will gladly tell us if we're wrong. But
to Amit's point, it's not just his mom. It's been kind of in the news.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
to
my
give your
mom
mom
is
some credit.
Well, I haven't read the article, so she's
Okay.
done what she heard from somebody else, and as we all know, many of these things can go awry. Anyway, so dude came from Nigeria. Dude started a church. Dude was very affluent, had bodyguards and a large house, and so on and so forth, as do many pastors in many churches, etc. Which is why the religious cult thing is kind of synonymous to me. However, he apparently somebody as part of this cult ratted them out because they were doing this is where it kind of goes astray, human sacrifice. And apparently a girl was killed. And I literally mean girl, I think she was like in her teens, as a sacrifice for, I don't know the purpose was, affluence, whatever the F it was, is irrelevant. A girl was killed as part of this. And when the police raided the church or whatever, I think this was after the murder, but neither here nor there. All the men, and this was the last bit of story that my mom gave me on this, were nude doing some kind of spiritual ceremony situation. So there was a shootout apparently that occurred. I don't know if the preacher, whatever, I don't know if those are the same or not. Either way, I don't know if that dude is still alive or not, or who in the situation is alive. But a lot of people were taken to jail. Some people died, obviously, in the shootout. This woman or girl, was killed as part of a human sacrifice. By the way, the human sacrifice thing is again speculation because I don't know. I haven't read anything beyond what my mom has told me, so I don't know if that's even fact, true or not, and whether or not that was done to her or she did it to herself. I have no idea what's going on there. But a religious cult was in Jamaica, and the reason I find it interesting is because Jamaica is a very, very, very religious country by way of churches, etc. That Dominic can attest to.
Most churches per capita than any other country in the world.
So when you look at that thing, I would assume it's easier for people to subscribe to something that is of religious base because it's innate to want some semblance of religious comfort. And so I find it, so having a cult form is not surprising to me at all. That's why it happens mainly in certain areas in the US, right? You have certain states that have religious cults will form in general, but religious cults that happen in certain states because they, in my mind, are predisposed to wanting that religious comfort versus other cities, states, area where you may have a different viewpoint and a different attendance level to churches and so on and so forth. Like it's not part of the culture. Your cousin had a really cool thing on that too, by the way, in the fact that because they own so much property and they don't pay any taxes, he was like, that's garbage because a lot of this property and stuff like that could be used for so many different things versus another church. And you're not paying any property tax. You're not doing anything with that at all. There's no return on investment to the community at all beyond the actual church, which again, one can question the return on investment there and that part of the dynamic, which I found.
Yeah, I find the whole religion tax-free thing a complete
I think it's
farce.
foolish. I think it's I don't know why we're still doing that.
You and I aren't religious people. But
what?
I respect and understand people who are. But what if I find my comfort in something else and my faith and my guidance in something non-religion? Why does that take precedence? Right? You could argue you find yours in fitness, right?
Yeah, that should be free.
So you should own a gym. If you own a gym, do you have to, and your money's coming in to give other people fitness and stuff like that? I mean, you could go down that path, right? So
I'm completely with you. You know, I'm taught certain lessons in the gym that I could pass on to live a better life to other people as well.
I mean, you're saying that sarcastically, but it's actually true, kind of.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like anything can be made to sound. That's why when people say things like this, like anything can be made to sound pseudo. Just the whole religious thing is just foolish, right? And on that note as well, I'm listening to Throughline.
But to clarify, expand upon that because again, we aren't religious, but I find a lot of religious things foolish. But I I wouldn't say I find it foolish where, for example, our mothers are very religious. And
Okay.
I get it. And with my mom specifically, we disagree on a lot of that stuff,
Mhm.
but I understand how it comforts her and comforts other people. So I wouldn't necessarily call that foolish. I would say some of it is, in my opinion, illogical. Some of the beliefs
Okay.
are illogical. However, the comfort that it can bring to somebody daily or in times of need, I get that. It's not for me. Right. What I would say foolish is when it goes to the extremes like religious sacrifice or ritual sacrifice and you know um tithing to certain churches that, like you say, aren't doing things for other people, and the pastor is living, the life of a god. Pun intended.
Okay. But then if you go down that path, right, then you say things like, all right, generally speaking, right, and I'll agree with you there too, right. I don't want to. I'm not trying to disparage an entire community who takes comfort in this. But what I will say to you is, on this logical front, many parents have told their kids there's no ghost under the bed. You can sleep soundly. But yet there's a ghost in the sky, so don't do anything wrong. And if you do anything wrong, then you're going to go to hell. But if you repent, then you may not go to hell. So there's all these things where it's like you're abiding by the same things that scared your kids, you are using to scare you and guide your life through the future, which is why I find the logic so flawed in so
Oh
many
yeah,
ways.
I said the logic. I definitely
And so
disagree.
that I mean, literally, I'm sweating now. Like that's how much it bothers me as an overall thing too. Um, it was interesting. I was listening to Throughline last week, I believe it was, and they were talking about they
That
were talking.
podcast, it's by NPR. It's great.
It's awesome. So they were talking about I think Columbus Day was around that time, so that was kind of like the subject matter or whatever that they're touching on.
Indigenous Peoples Day, bro. The
The reason I'm mentioning Columbus Day
only
is
Christopher we
because
support is Wallace.
so the reason it was going on that path is because they were talking about the reason they got funding, et cetera, and the church was behind the colonizing of the New World, right? And the thought process there was we being the church, need to have we need to bring religion, right? Christianity to the New World. And that was part of the thing. So on all these crusades and all these ships that went out, they had a preacher and blah, blah, blah. And you had to convert the heathens of the world
The
to follow
savages.
this new things, right? And in doing so, this is the part that I found just bafflingly stupid. There were a bunch of men, obviously, on these boats, if not all. There were women who were indigenous peoples. These women, as we know, were raped, right? And all this stuff had happened to them. And they didn't, obviously, this was the colonizers, having their way. But before they would rape a woman, they would baptize her so that they would be okay in the eyes of the Lord. Go to hell. Like, how is that even a thing? Like, just morally, if you think about that, right? Like, how, if any
Literally
religion
go
that
to
says
hell.
whatever, like, it's so ridiculous to me that was part of the practice, right? And this is what built a lot of the stuff overall. This is specifically related to Mexico. There's a story in Mexico they talk about and go through the stuff in general. And this is part of the part and parcel for what had happened then. But it's just ridiculous where the reason it's ridiculous is because people will find they'll find a way to rationalize away almost any deed via religion. And when you have that comfort in religion, then you can get away with such things. And I've made this a lot about religion. I didn't intend on doing so. Sorry for bringing it down a dark path, my dark path. But yeah, that's a thing that it's bothersome to me. Dominic, lighten it up.
I think that's all we got.
Okay, that lightens up for everybody else, then I'm sure.
Hopefully
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
sound was
hope
a
you've
lot
had
better.
right. Hopefully, you have a better experience with the sound quality. And we will keep this thing going.
Be better. Eat
Yeah.
better.
Are you eating better, by the way? Are you fitnessing?
I am eating better, definitely.
You fitnessing? You getting back out
I'm not
there?
allowed to really fitness for a couple more weeks with the procedure with my knee and everything. But yeah, definitely eating better. Moderation. Sundays, kind of, I'm like The Rock, except not in shape.
That is the most amazing comparison. That is the most amazing comparison.
No, with the same skin color. Actually,
I'm like The Rock because I'm also male, and I went to University of Miami. Like that's your comparison.
Maybe I should
for
do
The
that
Rock.
for Halloween this year.
To be The Rock?
The fanny pack with the chain and the turtleneck.
No,
You don't know The Rock's
Oh, I do know
infamous
that
picture?
one. I do know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. You could be that. You could also be Fat Thor. Just put on a
No,
wig.
I don't have long hair.
No, you put on a wig. That'd be perfect. Fat. You just immediately
No,
walk
plus-
out there. You're
plus
Fat
we'd
Thor.
upset people. Thor is white. Thor is white.
Are you saying that sarcastically?
Yeah,
I mean,
we could
it's
upset
basic-
people. I can't
Well,
be Thor.
You live in Boca, dog. Everybody's.
It's funny. So we may have told this on like the first couple episodes. So when my, kids say the funniest things when you're putting them to sleep at night, right? So my daughter was probably 2.5, putting her to sleep, talking about Halloween costumes, what I should be and everything like that, giving her ideas. And then I said, maybe I'll be Donald Duck. And she said, no, 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 no. And I said, oh, why not? She said, Donald Duck is white. You can't be Donald Duck. Mommy has to be Donald Duck. And I was like, I can't be. My daughter is cancer. I can't be Donald Duck. Like, yo.
What was a Donald Duck costume? Out of curiosity, was this one of those full like mascot type costumes you
I
were
don't
gonna
know. I
buy
was
to
just
be
throwing out
Donald Duck?
characters out there.
That's what you should be then this year. Go get a full Donald Duck costume and, enlighten your daughter as to how she was
I'd be
flawed in
Howard
her
the Duck.
thinking. Either way, are you going to do a full mascot costume thing?
I'm going to say something right now to the audience, ask a question, and Amit, I guarantee he knows the answer. So, audience, guess what I'm going to be for Halloween? Amit?
If you're going to be horrible Jason again.
Yes.
I mean, come on, man. Be better, dude. You
I still
can't
have
say
the
be
mask.
better and you can't
I've
not
had
be
this
better.
mask since probably college, same 20 odd years. A Jason Voorhees mask. And it's a real cheese sticks mask that just a piece of plastic that glows in the dark.
It does
over your
glow, right?
face.
Yeah, it glows, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dominic just puts that on and goes, oh, look, I'm Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
You even carry a fake knife? You don't even do that. You just
No,
kind of roll around.
I did 18 years ago, I had a fake knife. I'm not going to keep that forever.
You kept the mask. What's the difference? What is it? Mask in your underwear, George, is fine whenever you need it? Like, what's the difference? If you're going to keep one, keep the other.
I got it. I think I'm going to debut that.
Debut? Again, you can't debut it if you've been wearing it for 25 years now.
True.
It's been debuted.
Right. Eat better, people. Moderation.
Yeah, all that good
Eat
stuff.
better. Heart disease, number one killer. Heart disease, number one killer.
Talk to you soon. Take it easy, everybody.
Kaboom.
Bye.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa, what?
Last thing.
God.
Apple. We've been good 2 weeks in a row on Apple. No issues. Let's go for
Why you
3
gonna
weeks.
jinx it? Why you gonna jinx it then?
3 weeks.
Gotta let it ride, guy.
Rate and review, please.
All right.
Apple. We need help with Apple. They're screwing us somehow. Spotify is wonderful. Everything else is wonderful. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, but rate and review on Apple, please. We need the help. Apple doesn't like us. Cool.
Neither do you guys apparently either.
Justice over order.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.